the College of Engineering and on the technical side of the university, we celebrated just last month Walt Wolfram, who's a professor of linguistics in the College of Humanities and Social Sciences and a professor of English. He won the North Carolina Award for Public Service. Walt's a distinguished faculty member and a scholar in the area of the North Carolina dialect, which I'm told is quite substantial. It's different from the Arkansas dialect, I think you can detect. But Walt's an amazing faculty member and a great member of our faculty. So we have a lot of interesting people, and we love to introduce them to you at each event, and today is no different. Our speaker today is an NC State alum, an educational pioneer who has used his musical talents to create a new method of teaching that focuses on engaging students more completely. His passion for music started at a very early age. His father was a record producer and his mother was an orchestra director when he was growing up in Chicago. So it's only natural that he became involved in the world of music. He spent years as a musician, music producer, recording engineer, and a teacher, and in 2005 he came to NC State to start a PhD in education, focusing on the effect of music on learning. His dissertation was called Chemistry to Music, and involved taking 8th grade chemistry, writing a series of songs about the content that teachers could use to get students engaged in learning. The results was that the students were more motivated and performed better on tests. Since then, I wish that happened, by the way, when I was in chemistry, because my combination of music and chemistry didn't work out as well. I love the music part, but chemistry not so much. So since then, he has presented many new teaching strategies to over 20,000 educators across the nation. He's also launched a YouTube channel that reaches hundreds of thousands of educators around the world. And today he's here to talk about his 50 States, 50 Songs project. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Lodge McCammon.
NC State has challenged me to think and do. And about 6 months ago, I started a new project. And this project is called the 50 States Album. And I'm writing one song, an original song about every state in the United States, covering the basic history, geography, and economics. And I've got 15 down, 35 to go. So in about 4th grade across the country is when students start learning about their state history. And because of this, I signed a licensing agreement with Discovery Education, part of the Discovery Channel, so that they will distribute this album to schools, teachers, and students across the nation. And it's amazing what I've learned in the past 6 months about the history of the United States by studying or by researching all this different state history. It's incredible. For example, in New Jersey, in the late 1800s, there was this guy named Thomas Edison. May have heard of him before. Famous guy. Just take my word for it. And he started a lab at a place called Menlo Park. And at Menlo Park, he invented all sorts of different things. And I would contend that his most important invention was an invention that he actually innovated on from a previous invention. And he took the light bulb and looked at, now he didn't invent the light bulb, but he took the light bulb and looked at it and said, we can do better than this. We can make this better. And so he turned around and he invented the first commercially viable incandescent light bulb that changed the world and illuminated the world. Now, why that inspires me so much is because I'm not the first person to think about writing songs for kids to learn. Anybody ever heard of Schoolhouse Rock before? Some conjunctions, you know. So it's really nothing, that concept is nothing new. But most of the songs that are out there for students to learn are basically mnemonic devices. Devices meant to memorize information. So once you play a song for a student and you play it 30 or 40 times, it gets stuck in their head, they memorize the lyrics, and they know that rote information. They've memorized those definitions, or they know that process. The 50 States project, or the 50 States album, for me, is to really focus on challenging students to have discussions and to interpret the lyrics to establish a more in-depth understanding of the information that is involved in these songs. Because that is a much more rigorous activity than simply memorizing information. Now, when Thomas Edison was doing an interview, the interviewer asked him, can you explain where your genius comes from? You're amazing, this is incredible, all this stuff you've created and designed, where does it come from? And he said, brilliantly, he says, keep in mind that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. And I truly believe that that encapsulates what we believe here at NC State, which is the think and do mentality. NC State has challenged me to think, to create that creative spark, that innovation, that idea. But NC State has also challenged me to do the hard work, to accept the perspiration involved in taking that idea and making it a reality. If you'd like to follow my progress on the 50 States album on YouTube, type in Dr. Lodge 50 States. Thank you very much for having me.
If you go on YouTube and type in Lodge's name, you'll see a number of interesting musical renditions that are really exceptional. And one of the things that Lodge also did when he was here at NC State in the Friday Center was really develop the concept of flip the classroom. The notion of using YouTube videos and using technology to help students learn and giving them the tools to learn at their own pace. And this is really a valuable lesson and something that's really spreading across America. And so Lodge is a great example of our many PhD students here that do change the world. So let's go and see an amazing basketball game because Lord knows we need one. Go Pack! Go Pack!